the right way round again. It might not be for the streaming though, 'cause I will not go on the feed this way round. But it's okay, 'cause the people that watch me like it better this way. But it won't get as many views as if it was up the other way. But never mind. Hello to you. Hello, 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 Philip. Hello to you. Hello, 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 hello. Hello to you. Yes, widescreen. Woohoo! It worked. I thought I better experiment. It hadn't been working for weeks. And I tried it. And it's so far might suddenly kick out and go, no, didn't like that. But yay! It is widescreen again. But it's not, as I say, gonna be on the feed. So we'll just have a very small audience, the same as we always used to. Hooray! Hooray for that. Yes. So that's theme tune. So yes, it's been a week, hasn't it? I filmed something for Pear Shaped in Australia this week. Horizontal, yes. I am having to lie down. Look, there you go. But no, woohoo, it's widescreen, super widescreen. No, I filmed Pear Shaped because it's in Australia, so I had to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning to film it, and I was there and we were doing it, and they had to go to Zoom because they had StreamYard and their subscription had run out, and it was all going well, but it was a little bit of there was videos involved and we were all on the side of the screen. It was like, oh, I'm sure it'll work out in the edit, but no, apparently they messed it up and it didn't work properly and they're going to have to do it again, so that's unfortunate. So I'm going to have to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning again. I get up earlier than that. I don't know what. I'm getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning these days. I can't sleep properly. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired by about 7 o'clock. And I'm like, well, I think it's the clock's changing. It's thrown me out. So I've been up well before 6 most days this week. And I've actually been awake at 4. So I'm just... By this time, it's 8 o'clock here. By this time, I'm just like, no, I'm done in now. I am really horizontal in my mind. Just flat, just completely flat out of it. But hello, all the people here, all 4 of you. Woo, three. I've got 3 likes and 4 people. Hooray! Hooray! And I've got my little copper thing that's probably highly toxic, but yeah, it's not got anything. Yes, so I've got my water and I've got everything. So it was Halloween this week. Did you have a nice Halloween? I didn't really dress up as I thought Wednesday was Halloween and it was actually Thursday. So I was like, oh, I should do some sort of stream on Halloween, and then I didn't, and then it turned out to be the wrong day anyway. Just all over the place. Happy Sunday, yes, exactly. I should, yes, film myself in Super Mario Nation. Oh, yes, Super Mario Nation. See, it's a string puppet. Yeah. See, look, see the strings. I've actually got somewhere a Thunderbirds puppet with the I don't know where it is. Probably in the back room. Unfortunately, I should get it out and do the Super Mario Nation. It's Harry Fingal. Hi Chase. How is everyone? Yes. So yeah. So I was having fun with the although I sent some videos and they were the other way around, because most of the videos I've been doing are that way. They're portrait rather than widescreen, super widescreen. So I sent those, but the whole thing was widescreen, and then it didn't work. So I don't know what's going on. And I was going to do writing, because it's November, and I used to do NaNoWriMo every November and write something every day. But I'm just like, last few years, and then there's all sorts of controversy, whatever you say, however you say it, there's all sorts of that with NaNoWriMo. Because first of all, there was all sorts of kickbacks and maybe people that were just I can't remember. There was some sort of scandal, and I can't remember what it was. But then the latest thing is they said that they were completely all right with people doing AI, using AI to write, and that was fine because some people can't write or something. It's like, well, that's not fine, is it? Because what's the point in that? Anyone can do AI. I've been messing with AI mostly to bring it down from the inside in out. But I thought I'll do a little quiz today. I was like, ask me some facts. I was asking AI to ask me facts. So I was like, ask me something. And it said, how are you and how do you feel? I'm like, no, ask me something factual. And then it asked me, what is the element with the highest melting point? And I said the wrong thing. I said something else than the one. And they said, no, that's not right. It's tungsten. I was like, oh, what about this other one? The one that I gave you. And they were like, that's not really an element, but you're correct because it panders you. You're correct. What you've got is actually yeah. So I didn't have an element, but it was the highest melting point. I can't remember what it was now. I can't remember. I've gone completely blank, but I did come, and then it asked me something else, and I was like, "What about this? Ha! What? Mercury?" It said something about what liquid, what metal is liquid at room temperature, and I said mercury, and it said yes, and I said, what about? And then I found something else, then it was like, oh yes, you're quite correct. There's something else that technically, if they could get it at room temperature, but we don't know because it's so rare. It's like, well, you're wrong then, aren't you? You gave me an answer and it wasn't the correct answer. It was semi-correct. So I was really trying to test it, and it fails because it comes up with a probably true answer, and then when you say, oh, what about this other thing, even though you might not be completely correct, it goes, yes, all right, yes, you're probably right then. It's like, too easy to fool, really, too easy to change. Yes, I don't want to write. I just see. I have asked in the past ChatGPT to write me words, to write me little stories to see what it comes up with, and it comes up with absolute pap. It's awful, and also that's cheating. So I just do it to go, well, is that based on copyrighted material, ChatGPT? And it has to admit in the end, it's like, well, I can't say that. Of course there's no copyrighted but it's like, well, what you've used as the basis for this, it must be based on copyrighted material because you've used characters and situations based on things, haven't you, ChatGPT? And it's like, yes, well, actually, yes, but we can't be done for it. You can. I'm finding ways to legally shut it down, because I'm very happy for it to find Nazca lines in Peru and read ancient Herculaneum scrolls and help people who otherwise can't, to help people who've got accessibility needs. That is the 3 reasons. So accessibility needs, doing things that human can't do because they haven't noticed it, like, oh look, there's some actual patterns that humans never noticed. It's like, well done, ChatGPT and other AI models, you've done well there, but otherwise you can get back in the sea, ChatGPT. You can go away and leave me alone. This is some. Why is this reminding me of Graham Hancock's? So I've been watching Graham Hancock's load of old rubbish, ancient civilizations of America thing, just to go, because he's like, he interviews people that have done actual scientific research and then twists it. It's like, oh right, there were certain civilizations, like Easter Island people were probably there before people think. Fair enough. And people were in South America before they think. Fair enough. But then he goes, and that proves my ancient apocalypse thesis that 12,000 years ago all the civilizations of the world were all destroyed and they all knew each other. And he stopped short from saying aliens, but it's basically, it's a little bit insidious that he's like, oh, none of these people could have come up with things that are, none of these things could have happened organically, none of these things, oh, these people must have got it from somewhere else. It's like, no, stop it, Graham Hancock. And also the way that he says Bali and challenge and he's just like, he says things normally, but then he goes, in the Bali the challenge was, stop it, Graham Hancock, you're annoying me. And then Keanu Reeves has got It's like every now and then Keanu Reeves comes on and he goes, "Oh, Graham, I've always thought of this thing," and then Graham goes, "Yes," because Graham's like, because he's all hunched over. He's like, "Yes, it's the challenge in the barley." Oh, it's like, stop it, Graham Hancock, stop it. So annoying. Yes. Hi all. Right. Yes. So I would watch it just to go, no, stop it, don't. Yes, he doesn't deserve it. Exactly. He doesn't deserve it. He just deserves it to be shunned and avoided. Poke him and go, stop saying these things. Stop going and interviewing actual scientists and dragging them into your rubbish. Because there are some people that have done some good research and you think, oh, is he actually going to do something sensible now? No, of course he's not going to blooming do something sensible. He's going to weave it into his stupid 12,000 years ago there was an ancient apocalypse narrative. Shut up, you silly man. One thing I will say, that 20,000 years ago, Britain was joined to the rest, because there was somebody said something about, why are there no beaches in Britain? It's like, there are beaches in Britain. They're all on the west coast mostly, and the little tip of, they're not really on the east coast because, as I pointed out, I said 6,000 years ago Doggerland, but then I looked it up and it's actually 6,000 years BC. So actually 8,000 years ago Doggerland was there, and bits of the east coast were joined to the mainland, and so there's not times in 8,000 years to get really good beaches, and that's where they're all pebbly, and that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So there are good beaches, but they've been there for a little bit longer because they had time to erode and make lovely beaches, whereas Brighton was it's all just pebbly because Doggerland. It's like that bit of the channel and upwards from that way. There's like a chunk of Britain that's joined up, and then Doggerland. But Graham Hancock doesn't go to Doggerland, does he? He can't, because it's under the sea. That's where we should sponsor Graham Hancock to go and live in Doggerland. Go and live there. 12,000 years ago. That's not even 12,000 years ago. So what's up with your 12,000? That's only 8,000 years ago. Does that fit in with your stupid narrative, Mr. Hancock? No, it doesn't. So, but you're right, Philip. I shouldn't give him the oxygen of publicity. No, he should be under the sea. He should have H2O of publicity. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, yeah, Doggerland. Jodrell Bank. Just was it carbonated. It's so how old? Yeah, carbon dating is dodgy, because obviously you can get tainted by various things, and so you don't know. So but I think it's very fascinating, the whole Gobekli Tepe thing, but they see a load of nonsense. That it's like they've taken their time to dig it up, and it's going to be open to the elements, so they've covered it up. So obviously they've covered it up because if they leave it to the elements, then it's all going to get eroded, like the Easter Island statues, all of those Moai. Anyway, all of those are eroding because they open them to the elements. That's why they put them back buried underneath. That's the reason why. And things are very, you've only got to look at all the recent disasters and things. It does not take 12,000 years to get covered in sediment. It takes barely an afternoon, and the sea comes in, and then it's sediment. So you don't have to go, 12,000 years ago, there was a civilization and it's been lost to time. You just have to have a little bit of a flood, or a earth coming down on you, like a mountain. Mountains are very, very crumbly, and a lot of them fall on you, as can be evidenced in so many different ways. So far to you, silly man. Just makes me so annoyed. Ancient civilizations in the void. Graham Hancock, you are a droid. You are a roid. You are an absolute Hancock. With your volleys and your challenges, you always have something to say. And it's always 12,000 years to the day. And you always say these people came here and they told these other people a lot of things, and they all had handbags and big beards, and they were an ancient civilization that told everyone else what to do, and they were my friends. They were my friends, because I can't believe these people that were there were the people that did it all. It must have been my friends in the valley with the challenge. Oh, in the gallery. Oh, yes, I am Graham Hancock, and I approve this message. But I am Keanu Reeves, and I think it's true as well. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because I am an idiot, and I'm Graham Hancock, and I need to go and stay in the sea. Ha 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 hee. That's my Graham Hancock should go in the sea song. You can see I'm annoyed by him. Yes, there's science though. There is science I found out this week. Sciencey science. 10 years ago, there was a paper that said that if you imagine that you're lifting weights, really heavy weights, then you could, they did it so you did little exercises. Like, oh, I'm lifting weights with my, I'm lifting weights. Oh, they're so heavy. Then you can actually improve your muscle strength, even though you haven't actually lifted weights. You just, and I think it does work because you've got the sort of twitching. So you're like, oh, because by lifting the weights, you're actually lifting the weights, even though there's no weights there. It's just mine. So heavy. I'm gonna do some bench presses, and then you get all the benefits without going out and paying loads of money for gym equipment and stuff. So it's and I said something, I made a video about it, and I said that positive thinking was rubbish because you can't affect outside things, but you can affect you can convince yourself anything if you want to, but you can't make any other things happen by going, I'm going to think very positive. And somebody said, but I like positive thinking. It's like, well, yes, attitude, good attitude is good, but what I really hate is toxic positivity. That annoys me. So that's really what I mean when I say I don't like positive thinking. I don't like it when people go, no, you must always think positively at all times. It's like there's a room for sadness and mourning and grief and being angry. And people go, no, you shouldn't be angry or express yourself in any way. You should be happy all the time. That is not helpful. That is not helpful. You need the angst and the disaster. And you need to work that out of your system. And people, exactly, we're only humans. And when people start going, no, you must. And if you say something, a sort of dark, funny joke, to get over the humour, and it's yours to transform. There's a lot of very dark humour and horror films even. People are like, horror films. I think people are sick if they like horror films. It's like, no, because it's cathartic. And I think there's a very big place in cathartic expression and letting it mull for a while. And the people that go, no, I'm going to cut you out of your life because you're not being positive enough. It's like, they are the worst. They are the worst because they are the most toxic people. And it's like, well, that's a very negative attitude to make other people be positive. So you've cancelled yourself out. Negative and positive. Cancelled yourself out. So that's my opinion about that. So yeah. So, but that's quite good. That's exciting, though. I can have a workout. My muscles will be massive. Yeah. That's weird. That's more Donald Trump. Yeah. Maybe that's what he's doing when he's doing that. He's actually doing an exercise. He's doing a workout in his mind. He's working out. That explains everything. Well, good luck with him. He can go and do that, and he can join Graham Hancock and work out in the middle of Doggerland. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun thing for them to do, and a lovely exercise in. I was going to say something beginning with W, which isn't rude in America, but is rude here. So yeah, go away, all of you, in your gallery with your challenge in the folly. I don't know why he says things like that, because otherwise, like you can keep going, and it's like it's a weird accent, because it's not an accent, because people don't talk like that. Nobody says challenge and volley. Yeah, it's like the thing is, it's the whole thing, bath and bath. But nobody says challenge, grass and grass, but not volley. What's wrong with you? You weirdo. Utter weirdo. Anyway, as you say, oxygen and publicity, he doesn't need it. He doesn't want it. He does want it. I don't know what his end game is. I mean, obviously he's making money out of this, but what the earth? Anyway, why am I? Is my bête noire? My bête noire. Black Betty. That's what it is. It is a black beast. The terrible, terrible thing. The worst thing is a big spider that's coming to eat your face. Ooh. Big spider. Wicked. Yes, he probably does. That's probably what's happened. Graham Hancock went to the place where all the big stones are, and one of them fell on his head, and then he went, I am dead. Oh, Graham Hancock with a big old boulder on his head. That's what happened. That's why. That's why. That's why. Yes. He the whole thing. Oh, look at these big stones. There, nobody could have put. They must be some ancient technology. It's like, well, yeah, probably, but I don't think there's men with the handbags. Those men with the handbags. Do you know what the men with the handbags were doing in those things? Have you seen them? I'm going to say Silurian. That's not what I mean. The Babylon. You know, the whole thing. It's there's loads of them in the British Museum. So they've got curly beards and they've got the little handbags, and there's loads of things all around the world with the things. That's what they were doing. These are imaginary handbags. They were doing the imaginary exercises with the weights. That's what they were. They were like, if I draw pictures of these weights, then I can work out. That's what they were doing. That's what those little handbags were, because they're like, oh, they're batteries. They are batteries. Actually, what the theory is, the running theory is that they were actually buckets of water. Why are they carrying buckets of water? I don't know. But no, obviously I'm right. They're little weights, little barbell things. Whoa, look at these weights. They're going. I'm going to carry them around and do my exercises. And that's how I'm so strong that I can make these massive buildings with the hairline cracks that everything's fitting together like a massive jigsaw. It's because I've worked out. That's what I'm doing, mind over matter. And I worked out so hard that I've moved these stones and built these pyramids with my mind. With my massive mind. That's exactly what's happened. So it all comes together. So obviously it's all true then. Anyway, so this is it though. You can take a little bit of science that people have actually, managed to go, well, that's surprising, but okay, and go, yeah, well, that must mean this. No, that doesn't mean this. That doesn't have anything to do with that. You can't go this thing and therefore this thing. It's like this thing's got nothing to do with this thing. What are you talking about? Fair. Stop it! Stop it! I've got to stop it. But there's not been much going on this week apart from Halloween. Agatha All Along, that's what I watched. That was fun. And not very much else. As I said, the online video thing went completely wrong. I was supposed to have another online meeting with somebody else, which I forgot about. I'm just like, it's all going wrong. all going horrible. And I haven't managed to go for. I keep going. Oh, I'll go for a lovely walk, and I'll go somewhere, and I'll do some exploring, and I'll make a video, and then I look out the window and I go, no, it's horrible and wet and it's cold, and also it's slippy. That's the thing. If I go in the woods or on, there's a lot of earth and trees. And last time I went for a walk, a tree nearly fell on me, and it was a little bit wet. And every time it's wet, it's not the last time I went for a walk. One of the times I went for a walk, a tree nearly fell on me. It's like, it's dangerous. And if my only options for walks are going up a hill with trees and very slippy paths in the slippy on my own, dangerous. So it's excuses, I know. It's terrible excuses, but these are the excuses that I am using. Like, I should go to that place. It's like, I should not go to that place. It's a lonely, terrible, in the middle of the woods. And although, very much like Graham Hancock, I have a theory. My theory is that the fairy folk are real and they're going to get me if I go in the woods on my own. And who's to say I'm not right? Probably not right. I'm not sure. It's like, they don't exist. But I've been watching all these videos about, well, these people have done these things, and they've predicted that the aliens, that non-human life forms are gonna come really soon. So I'm like, Now, I don't believe these things, but I don't want them to be true, and I don't want to tempt fate. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's exactly the fairy folk. You're like, no, don't go into the woods. The woods are dangerous, scary places. But mostly because of the trees falling and the slippy mud and the danger of landslides. Because it's an old quarry as well. So you've got rockfall and mud and trees and precipices, and people have hurt themselves and worse in that area. So it's like, it is dangerous. It's actively dangerous. In the last 2 years, people have succumbed to the danger. And so you don't want to do that. Like, places that I've actually been, I thought, whoa, this is nice, but it looks a bit dangerous. And then it is dangerous. And I'm like, well, gosh, if you're on your own, then there's no one to come and rescue you. Except for the fairy folk. And they're going to rescue you to a whole other dimension. Or the aliens. Oh, hello. Yes. Monica, hello. Yes, it's time. It's time, and I'm all set up. I'm only going to be here for a couple more minutes, but you've come in time to see me. I was ranting about Graham Hancock, and I won't do that again. I should shut up about that. But I've also seen a lot of TV shows this week. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Have you seen the shows? I don't want to spoil the shows. Do you watch Agatha All Along? Do you watch any of the shows? Also, there was a show, my mum was watching Billy Crystal on Graham Norton, and she said, oh, Billy Crystal's in a new film. I'm like, no, he's in a TV series. It's on Apple TV. We started watching it. Don't you remember? And she's like, no, because it wasn't very memorable. I think everyone was falling asleep. It's great, I'm sure. There's a spooky boy in it, and maybe we'll go back to watching it. But I think that everyone was a little bit overtired when we started watching it, so maybe we should try again. It's not a comedy, which is what you'd expect for Billy Crystal. And it's got Judith Light in it, who's also mainly normally known for comedies. And so it's a sad, depressing one by the look of it, but we could watch it. But I also watched a film. I've watched things. I watched a film with Tom Hanks. It was Tom Hanks and a dog and some robots, and the robot sounded sort of robotic, and I was like, it probably is a real actor, isn't it? And then I was like, hey, is that person actually motion captured? Is he on set at the time? Is that actor like actually being interacted with, and that's not just drawn in afterwards, that there was actually a physical actor on set doing the voice and doing the movements? And it was. He's called Caleb Landry Jones, and the poor he was like wearing a sort of like diving suit with like dots on it so that they could CGI this monster robot. He wasn't a monster. This robot in afterwards. He's like, no disassemble number 5. He was going. It's exactly the same story as Short Circuit, really, except more sad at the end. The disassembling isn't the robot. Oh no, I've spoiled that. Anyway, so another depressing end of the world apocalyptic thing. Oh, that must be what Graham Hancock was talking about. That's probably a civilization that was 12,000 years ago with Tom Hanks and a robot. Anyway, Caleb Landry Jones is parodying something called Dogman, which I've seen clips of on TikTok. And I was like, oh, that guy, I've seen him. That looks like a confusing film because I've seen him dressed up as Marlene Dietrich and singing classical songs while sitting on it's just looked confusing. I'm not sure what's going on. So apparently that was on Apple TV, but not on Apple TV in Britain. So I'm not going to watch that because I can't watch it because I've got no way of watching it. I've got all of the different services, the streaming services, and I've got nothing I want to watch. I've seen that now. The random film. I've been catching up. I was like, I've got all these services and there's like things that I haven't seen. Like I saw The Village, the film The Village, and I saw Don't Worry Darling, which is basically the same film. Those film is like, this is the same film. It's there's different things about it, obviously, but it's basically the same film. There's like obviously sci-fi at the end of one of them, and there's mystery and horror at the it's like it's still premise wise that's basically the same premise. There's other things going on, you know, it's not entirely the same film, but premise wise that's the same premise. There's not much going on with these things really. Depressive, yeah, happiness. Yes, happiness is great, isn't it? We should have more happiness. That's it. Positivity. We need all the positivity. Everyone should positively think and think like a positive thing. Oh yes, we should have lots of fun and not think about the bad things. No, just don't think about the bad things. No, don't think about the bad things. No, everything's good. Everything's good. Work out, woohoo, and everything. Yes. So it's come to the endish of this time, and I'll be back next week, hopefully horizontally. But I might start doing the vertical ones in betweeny times sometime because they get onto the stream, the short stream, and maybe I'll get a few people watching those as a sort of extra bonus. Who knows? Maybe I shall do that. So maybe sort of midweekish I might do that other thing as well. Yay! Why not? Yeah, I'm just running out of things to do. You probably noticed that. Yes, have a good week. Yes, have a safe, happy, positive week, all of you. And maybe I'll think of something and go somewhere and do something because I'm just like, what on earth? Yeah, yes, children both. Yes, all right then. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon. I'm running out of voice. See ya. Bye-bye.